Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. Yesterday before content dropped, we had an Evo that was leaked that I think most people probably ignored because what was promised to come didn't look that good. But that's the thing, it dropped and it actually is way better than what we thought it was going to be. We're going to talk about that left back Evo from yesterday that's creating some insane cards and moving the market. We've got cards going extinct for evolutions. We haven't had that in a while. And we have other cards on the market dropping because the Evo is so good. It's not the most groundbreaking Evo ever, but it's creating some mad cards, especially with some Season Pass Evo combinations. We're going to take a look at that today and talk about Fantasy FC once again, right? I still have some of my investments. I know a lot of you guys are looking to invest in these live and upgrading cards. We're hoping that upgrades still are dropping soon on players like Undav and Cancelo because they have not had their upgrades added yet. And we're going to look very closely at those prices today because I'm still a little bit worried about how many people are investing in these cards. But we can be careful with that. And of course, today's content on Tuesday will bring us hopefully something fun and easy to do. Our guaranteed little promo pack SBCs have been coming on Tuesdays, and I think another one is dropping today along with a new upgrade pack. Let's discuss, guys. If you're excited for this one, drop a thumbs up on it, hype the video, and subscribe if you are new. Now, we're going to go through yesterday's content on Monday by starting with the SBCs because we had a couple of new player picks released yesterday. First of all, the 81 plus player pick, which is again the similar 81 plus player pick that we have been having. 3 rares, 3 commons. It is good. I tried a set of 10 of these yesterday and they were absolutely woeful. So I'm still going to chip away at those throughout the week, but it's right now for me between those and the 79 triple, and I'm not sure which one's better after having a really bad set of those 81 plus player picks. But the other player picks we had yesterday were the 80 plus 4 of 10 picks. EA brought those out. Of course, those are just gold commons going into this, and you're getting back, I think you can do 3 of those per day, refreshing every single day. But the good part about player picks is that EA gave us the gold cards to get more of them done. The provisions upgrade returned, which is so nice to have this back. It's repeatable 4 times per day, and like it always has, it requires 3 85 rated cards, and it gives you a whole bunch of gold rares and commons back. This is so nice to be able to just do some player picks, because before you were like not even able to get many done because you'd run out of the gold commons and the rares that you need to get those done. That actually gives you a bit more of a menu grind. It makes it easier to do the 83 by 14 and the 86 by 2 because you just have more fodder and more packs to open to get fodder to get some of those SBCs done. Now, with the provisions upgrade coming out, this is 89% upvoted because, of course, people love it, but this is actually an investment opportunity. If you don't have a ton of coins or you just want to put your coins into something low budget and safe, 85 rated is the thing for you, because these cards yesterday went up to about 2K or even a little over 2,000 coins right after this SBC release. They were 1.5K earlier in the day yesterday. They're not going to go that low throughout the rest of this week, but if you want to pick them up for about 1.7 to 1.8K, basically keeping them under 2,000 coins as your investment price there, I think you're going to be able to make coins on these and sell them for hopefully 2.5 to 2.7, maybe even get some lazy sales at 3,000 coins by the end of the week, because with this provisions pack being out, I mean, you take a look at a couple of weeks ago when we had provisions packs, then these cards were 2.5K up to 3,000 coins. So I think they're at least going to go to 2.5K this week. And they hopefully will go a little bit higher than that because this SBC is out for 24 more days. So it is very nice to have that back just for the crafting side of things, but also for the investing side of things. So get involved in 85 rateds if that interests you. Now, the last SBC that we had yesterday was a truly cheap player SBC. We mentioned in yesterday's video, those players like Tyreek George that are cheap SBCs, but they're still 70,000 coins. Why doesn't EA drop like a truly cheap SBC for 30K? Well, that's what this Joey Vierman is. Now, you could look at this card and say, Nate, he wouldn't be 30K on the market, and I'd agree with you. He'd be probably 11,000 coins discard price, but Incisive Plus, 93 pass, live card, and it's only an 84 and 85 rated squad with a team of the week there for Vierman, so that is very cheap. Again, coming in right at 33,000 coins. Can't be super upset about that just because it is super cheap. Now, apart from that SBC content we had yesterday, it was the Evo. And guys, to talk about the evolution that we got yesterday, we got to go back in time a little bit because this Evo was leaked before content. Like we said in yesterday's video, a lot of times now, the player SBC that we're going to get each day, it hasn't been leaked yet, but it'll be dropped a couple hours before content. And the same thing with whatever new Evo we're going to get on any given day. And yesterday before content, there was this leak. A new Max 86 left back evolution is set to come to Ultimate Team soon with a stats upgrade, whipped pass plus, Max 1 playstyle plus, intercept, dead ball, and relentless. And I think when a lot of people, including myself, saw this tweet, we were like, this doesn't look very good. Whipped pass plus, whatever, intercept base, okay, that's decent. Dead ball, relentless, don't care too much. So it really came down to what was a stat upgrade going to be. But really, I think a lot of people wrote this off. Sure, Nuno Mendes was said to have fit this, and you guys know when these leakers post these Evos, I think we've even become a little bit numb to these leaks in a way that used to make us super crazy excited, and now they don't anymore because that's just what we're used to. And these guys post the leaks of these cards with stats that are just not stats that we're going to actually see for these cards getting upgraded, like 98 pace for Nuno Mendes and 89 physical. No, that's not quite happening with this evolution, but, that's how it goes. So we see this Evo leak, and it's not too exciting, doesn't seem that good. Cards are moving a little bit on the market, but not much. And then the Evo actually drops. And guys, for a Monday, this is a pretty good evolution. It takes your card from 86 or around 86 rated, unless you're lower than that, up to 89 rated. So it does take you to a little bit higher of a level, but that's still okay. We're going to talk about that. But the ticket here is the stats. Take a look at the passing and dribbling stat boost that this Basha card gets. You're going up to about 90 pace on a lot of cards with this Evo, and you're going close to 91 passing and 90 dribbling with a really solid physical boost, which is where I think this Evo is pretty solid. It's all about taking your left back on an adventure up the pitch, right? That unlock the attacking potential, gives position left mid, and some really big stat boosts, plus 20, plus 25 chunks there, intercept, dead ball, relentless, and then the whipped pass plus. But guys, like when you take a look at some of the cards that fit into this, I'm going to put my Jedi Robinson into this. He's got 77 passing and 79 dribbling. He's going to go up to the high 80s, close to 90. Teo Hernandez, right, goes up to 91 passing through the Evo that I have here. Alvaro Carreras goes up to 90 passing and 89 dribbling, up to 83 shooting as well. Now, I don't want the whipped pass plus, but those are just really solid stat boosts, and especially for some of these cards that have lower physical stats, like this Charles, 75 physical, boom, up to 85. That's where this Evo actually shines. Again, Max 86 is like, man, we're still talking about Max 86 Evos. Yeah, we kind of are. But the stat boost on this one actually makes it interesting and makes it good. And it's not just me saying it's good. I know some people don't like it, and that's okay if you don't like it because, again, like I said, it's not the craziest Evo ever. But when Evos move the market, when we see prices of cards go extinct and prices of players in the same position as the Evo go down, there are people getting involved with these Evos. And if you don't think there's anybody good for this Evo for you, I'm going to change your mind on that. Now, Nuno Mendes is probably one of the most popular players in this evolution. Big physical boost there, huge passing boost. He's already got the quick step plus, but this is where I think this Evo can kind of cook with the season pass. Take a look at this Teo Hernandez. Same thing you can do with the Nuno Mendes, right? If you have Bruiser Plus still available, you could put Bruiser Plus on Teo so you don't get the whipped pass. You add the wall in the back Evo from the season pass, giving some defensive boost, and also gives the intercept playstyle. And then you put him into the going on the adventure, and then through the season pass, level 28, which a lot of us are going to be getting to. I'm behind. I'm level 13 right now because I was away, but a lot of you guys are probably getting closer to level 20, 28. There is a Evo for Anticipate Plus as a second playstyle plus, and if you have not used that one, the chains that you can create with this evolution are perfect for it. Take a look at this tail, right? Bruiser and Anticipate with the intercept base on the card. He'd have a rapid and quick step as well. Same thing with the Nuno Mendes, right? Add Anticipate Plus to that card right there. That is a really, really good card. A 93.2 footman rating for a free Evo for an 86 rated card that's easy to pack, or the same thing for Teo, getting up into the mid 90s and a footman rating there as well. That's a very solid free evolution. Like, let's be completely honest, especially in a position where we haven't had a ton of crazy SBCs recently. I know we just had Cancelo who can play on the left and right, so maybe this Evo is a little bit less hype for you because of that, but left back and right back is always a spot where we need some more solid Evos, and this gives good boost. And again, we said the market tells a story, right? Nuno Mendes, he was starting to rise after this was leaked. This was one of those Evos where he actually went up after the Evo came out. He was up from 8K to 12,000 coins. Evo comes out. he goes extinct at 20,000 coins. And EA actually, with one of the fastest price range updates I've seen them release in a while, actually put his price range up to 25,000 coins already. So that was really quick. He's no longer extinct on the market, but I guess if you pack this Nuno Mensch, extra 20,000 coins for you right there because of how his price has moved. Same thing with Teo Hernandez's gold card. He's gone up as well. Balde's gold card, Alvaro Carreras. A lot of the players that you see here on the popular page have had cards that have moved up a good bit. And there's some other crazy options out there as well. Like, I'm not even showing you guys half of the cards that you can really create. Like, there's some cards that are center backs that have the left back position on their cards, so they fit this evolution, and you're creating some really crazy center backs in and around this Evo as well. Like Luke Shaw actually goes into this Evo. That looks pretty good. If you have this Luke Shaw card, he has the Jockey Plus already. You could put the Anticipate Plus on him during the Season Pass Evo, and that looks like a really solid center back card there. So it's a solid Evo. It is for sure. Now, like we talked about cards going up, it also made cards go down. Teo Hernandez was up to 500,000 coins yesterday, dropped all the way to 400 flat, is now back up to about 440 to 450, it looks like. Well, okay, there's a couple of undercuts at 410 again. You see a lot of price fluctuations on these cards because of this Evo yesterday. The graph tells a story there. Other cards like this Ferland Mendy, 124,000 coins, went all the way down to 100k flat. Now, this is a card that what I would tell you is take note of this. And whenever this Ferland Mendy drops a lot in price, maybe like right now is not the best time to invest in this card, but this is going to be a card that down the line, a month or two from now, is going to go crazy in price because he's going to fit evolutions and people are going to be wanting to Evo him. But right now, when he doesn't fit the evolution, again, imagine if this Evo was max 87 rated instead of max 86, this card would be crazy expensive right now because he got the pace, he's got good physical already, he gets a little bit of a defensive boost to the Evo, the passing and the dribbling get boosted. This card would be crazy through this Evo that we just got. But since he doesn't fit, he's down a bit. This is the sort of thing where if there's other 87 rated left backs that have dropped a little, just keep an eye out there because they could be good investments for the long term. But honestly, that is a very solid Evo yesterday, a bit of a surprise for what we normally get on a Monday, and better than we expected through the evolution as we've just talked about. Now, let's take a look at prices elsewhere on the market. Let's take a look at these fantasy cards because yesterday, some of these, as we looked at on the stream, were moving like crazy. Remember Lewandowski on yesterday's video? He was like, what, 530,000 coins, and we were like, yeah, he was up a little bit because he was as low as 500k flat. Huge rise up to 670 and was above 600,000 coins for most of the middle of the day yesterday. Only dropped down a little bit into the last couple of hours back to 540, so not as low as he went last night. I picked one up on bid here because, guys, I still think this is kind of a window to buy these fantasy FC cards. I snagged a couple more Undabs as well. We're eagerly awaiting the playstyle upgrades for this card. He's got no additions yet to his card. Cancelo has not had any updates added to his card yet as well. Neither has Joao Felix or any of the other players that we're waiting upgrades for. So EA's not as fast as last year on these upgrades, but hopefully they are still coming today. Like, that's one of the biggest things, and that's going to drive a lot of the hype or the disappointment with these fantasy cards. If they're not upgrading quick, then they're not going to make as good of investments. But I still think if they upgrade today or tomorrow, that's solid timing for the cards that have, earned their upgrades in these last couple days of play. So watch very closely to see if those get upgraded today. But I think this is kind of last call for the rest of this week to invest in these cards. Take a look at a card like Schlotterbeck, 39,000 coins. This is what he did yesterday, from 28k up to 50, back down to 39. He's probably going to go back up into the 40k range again today as an 88 rated card. You've got other players like Semenyo, who was 1 million coins flat, I believe, on Sunday. And then yesterday, he rises up to almost 1.2 at a couple of different points. Douglas Luiz, again, a card that we were talking about yesterday. We knew a lot of people were going to want to invest in him, from 300k up to 360. Crazy rises. Like, I was not expecting these big of rises yesterday on Monday, but it just shows you how many people want to invest in these cards and are interested in using them in game as well. I think a lot of people are playing champs yesterday because, of course, you played over the weekend the games for the icon swaps to get the R9 or to get your tokens. You played the new league that dropped on Sunday as well. And I think yesterday on Monday, that just led a lot of people to play FUT champs and maybe did help a little bit of this market rise. But I think we're looking at probably the last good window for the next couple of of days on these fantasy cards and the fantasy heroes. If they're already inflated in price, just make sure you're buying somebody who has hype for upgrades, like this Jill Scott card. I know on Sunday, she was as low as 370,000 coins. She hit 450 yesterday, went down to 400. If you can get this card for like 400K, I'd say thumbs up, because I think she's going to go up with the incisive, with the intercept, with the potential upgrades that she can get. Now Futbin has the trackers up and running as well, so you can take a look as you look to invest in these cards. Maybe you want to invest in Unai Simon, right? Like, actually, I should probably pick one of him up and put him in my club, because this is a card that if he gets one more win, which gives you the +1 overall, if they win this weekend against Rayo Vallecano, then he goes up to a 91 rated card. And the cheapest 91 rated card in the game is 32,000 coins, Puteas and Bonmati. Well, of course, he is 26K. So you would think that he would be quote unquote guaranteed to go up to 32,000 coins, because that's where the other 91 rateds are at. Now, it's not a 100% guarantee. We've seen this in years past. You would need some other SBCs to actually require probably an 89 or a 90 rated squad to make a card like this go up. But it's an investment that really can't go wrong in a way, if you look at it that way. There's not as many of those types of fodder investments this year for Fantasy FC, but this card for 27,000 coins is the most that I would pay. And then that's just kind of waiting it out for high rated fodder to go up. Maybe a player of the month Mbappe at some point, or another player of the month that requires high rated squads, or another big player SBC in the next couple of weeks. Maybe it's not until Foot birthday that you see a card like this actually start to go up as a fodder investment, but 26K is ideal. I know some people are getting it at 25. I would say 27K for a longer term hold would be possible. But that's kind of what you're looking at here. Use the trackers on Futbin to find cards like that and get involved and get invested. And the next part of this whole equation is going to be, when do you sell? And that was what we kind of started talking about yesterday in the stream, is if there's a lot of people, because it is obvious there's a lot of people investing in these cards because they're live, because they have that hype, right? You're going to want to sell before everybody who is invested is selling, if that makes sense. Because like we talked about, you want to buy before everybody else buys, and you want to sell before everybody else sells. I think with the next games for these players coming up this weekend, what you're going to want to do is, of course, keep an eye on these trackers, which is, if you go on Futbin, you click the details. Obviously, a lot of you guys are using the Futbin app as well. On the Futbin app, if you click on a card, there should be a tracker tab at the top. You can click on that, and it'll show the same thing here as it does on the mobile app. So just kind of look at the matchups for this weekend, right? Douglas Luiz and Villa, very good matchup this weekend with Wolves. There's potential for some points here. And there's potential for him to get defensive contributions and for the club to score a decent amount of goals. Maybe keep a clean sheet, right? That would make this card go up a lot if they were able to check a couple of boxes off here, and that would be very good. But at the same time, if they don't, and that's the thing with a lot of these cards, a lot of them are getting invested in this week. Not all of them are going to eclipse new upgrades this weekend and kind of, check those boxes, if you will, right? There will be some cards this weekend that do drop off. So I know we're getting a new team. Fantasy Team 2 is going to be coming out this Friday as well. I'm not worried about those cards as much for these. Sure, the SBC and maybe the EVO that we get could impact some of the fantasy prices from Team 1, but mostly it's going to be how the club and how the player performs on the weekend that will determine where the price moves for the fantasy upgrade live aspect of these cards. So just be a little bit careful with those cards. Now, if you want something a bit safer, but not as guaranteed to rise, I guess, I'd say Informs. If you're talking about investments right now, Informs are currently 13,000 coins, and it all comes down to today's content, what SBCs we get. But 13K flat, especially if you can get them under 13K on bid, is a play, in my opinion, because Informs rise almost every single week, and we should have some more demand today for those cards. Otherwise, I'd be looking out of packs. Like, I still have 2 million coins liquid at the moment, where I'm looking around the market and I'm saying, wow, Kvaratskhelia for 654K. That's pretty low, because yesterday all day he was between 670K and 718. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go buy that. If I can find a knockout royalty Kvaratskhelia for 650K on the market, I will absolutely buy that. Again, 647. Don't tempt me with a good time. Boom. Hopefully that's 700,000 coins today. It would make a little bit of profit. I think the out-of-packs market is still a good place to be trading, and especially today is a Tuesday, so there's no more weekend league supply coming in. A lot of times what you see on Tuesdays is prices rising after content. So especially with the fantasy cards, you don't have to try to sell those today before the content drop. You can hold those, and even some of your out of packs trades like I'm doing here with the Kvaratskhelia, like feel free to hold on to those cards into Wednesday, because the market should hopefully, unless content goes crazy today, like unexpectedly crazy, the market should hopefully continue to just start to go up a little bit. I have a couple of investments that I made on Sunday that I haven't sold yet. Like I have a couple of Diani still that I bought at 400K flat. Sold a couple of them yesterday for 440. And hopefully she goes back up to 440,000 coins today as well. Market should be decent to trade with. The only thing I would say is be a little careful with strikers. Again, strikers would be the only position that I would at least just check myself on before I would go and buy a whole bunch of those, because of the fact that you do have more and more people getting R9. And as I look here, of course, I have strikers as live card investments, but I think live cards are a little bit different than like trading somebody out of packs that is a striker position player. So that's a lot of market talk, but informs are good. Fantasy cards that they can go up if you hold them later on into the week, and the market should be good for that. Now, a couple other things I want to discuss on the video today would be Fantasy Team 2. We kind of touched on it, right? There is a week 2 of this promo with more live cards incoming, hopefully some more SBCs, and hopefully not another fantasy league, which I don't think we're going to get that, because there's, this one's that we currently have is out for the whole entire second half of the promo as well. But the leaks have been out there, right? Some of the leaks started as early as Saturday and Sunday. Official cards and just leaked names that are going to be in Team 2. Victor Gyökeres is coming as a Fantasy FC player soon. This would probably mean that he's not in the Team of the Week. They'll be coming tomorrow. I would expect to see Team of the Week leaks today if there's anybody that you're looking to maybe Evo or see in the Team of the Week tomorrow on Wednesday. But Gyökeres is in Team 2, as is, some other really solid cards. I'm not going to look at all of them right now, but there are some leaks that are out there. Check out Foot Agent's page. I think he's posted most of them. Foot Sheriff has posted a couple as well. Wesley Schneider is getting a card. He actually looks kind of good. There's a Rafa Marquez. There's a Zamorano. There's a Park Ji-sung. There are a few names out there for Team 2 of this promo. Sasic is getting an official card as well right there, low driven and power shot. But we're going to keep holding off on just talking about the leaks too much yet, because we're still a good ways away from Team 2 of Fantasy. There's a lot to happen between now and then. But let's talk about today's Tuesday content, because I actually think Tuesdays have been intriguing days, at least in the past couple of weeks, for one specific type of SBC, and that is the guaranteed promo pack for the cards that are in packs. That's right. Last Tuesday, when I was gone, there was the Knockout Royalty Upgrade Pack, which gave you a chance at packing a Knockout Royalty Guarantee. And you know what? I just did the SBC because I didn't do it last week. And I was like, why not try this one before it expires? Don't expect anything good, but figured we could give it a shot. Knockout Royalty. That tunnel is sick, by the way. Goalkeeper. Emi Martinez. I'll be skipping that one. So, yep, 88 rated Emi Martinez. Thank you very much. But today, what should be replacing that Knockout Royalty Guarantee is indeed a Future Stars Guarantee. Now, the problem with this is there's a lot of fodder cards. Look at how many 87s and 88s are on that bottom row. I think every single one of those, maybe bar one or two, are all discard price 11,000 coins. Well, EA made the guaranteed pack just a smidge better, if this is going to be the one that we get today, because they've added an 88 plus guarantee to it. So basically take out the 5, 6, maybe it's 7 worst cards that are 87 rated in this promo team, and they won't be in this pack when it releases, most likely today. It does not include the heroes as well, so that is one thing to consider. There are no fantasy heroes that are going to be in this pack, and only be the regular players. But hey, maybe you get lucky today and pack somebody like Malin, Noah Lang. Maybe you get Undav. Maybe you get Unai Simon or Douglas Luiz, or even a top tier card. It is a pack that is always worth doing because it's usually pretty cheap. I think the Knockout Royalty Guarantee pack was very affordable. If we go find this one really quick on Footbin, I just did it. It was an 85 rated squad with an inform. So that's one of the reasons that I think informs could be okay today if we do get that guaranteed not Future Stars, Fantasy FC pack. If we get that today and a new upgrade pack to replace the 86 plus times 2, informs could be good. It just all comes down to the requirements. Now, the 86 times 2 going away, I'm really curious about this. What's going to replace it? 85 by 3, Maybe it's time for an 86 by 3. Might be time to level up a little bit on this one. That's been an 83 rated squad with an inform as well. So we'll see what replaces that. But it's really, again, like I mentioned, down to the informs today in those SBCs to see how much the market will move there. So that will be very interesting to watch. And that'll be a big part of content today is what do we get exactly for the upgrade packs, the guaranteed, and what we'd be calling the regular upgrade packs as well. Now, of course, player SBCs, right? There's definitely going to be a player SBC today. We've been having one every single day so far of the promo. I would imagine that continues. It might not be anybody crazy, but there should be a player SBC today, and there could be another evolution. And I think we should take a quick scroll through here and look at the EVOs that are expiring today. Are there any that are expiring? Invisible Wall has 1 day left. Yes, get your protein. Oof, yes, I need to get my protein and put this on at least a player here. This is going to be expiring at content today as well. It's repeatable twice. It's just play 4 matches. So if you want to give Quick Step Physical and Quick Step Plus with Bruiser. Guys, Bruiser, I know it's been crazy, but it feels like Bruiser has gone to a whole new level since, I came back after this last week of being gone. Bruiser is disgusting. Playing my weekend league, anybody who's got Bruiser Plus especially is just absolutely insane. So that's one thing that I've been noticing on this game. I don't know if you guys have been noticing that as well. Like Bruiser's always been good, but it just seems crazy good. So watch out maybe if you haven't done the Get Your Protein. That might be some worth putting somebody into. And then also reward evos, right? I think if you have like Block Plus, that one's expiring at content today too, and I've got that one around. So, we'll probably find somebody to throw Block Plus on as a second PS Plus. Maybe this Fossey card, what a legend, USA, right back. We've been evoing. Thought about Tim Ream. Not quite sure who we're going to put this on. But anyways, I digress. Just check your evos for ones that are expiring today as a part of your Tuesday content check. But that's going to be the video for me today, guys. If you did enjoy, drop a thumbs up on this one. Let me know what you guys think about the evo down below in the comments and what fantasy FC cards you think you're going to invest in that could bring the biggest profits. I'll see you guys in the stream today. Have a great Tuesday. It's been TheFutAccountant. See you there. Peace out.